Welcome to Santa Barbara for CCL Baseball on the Foresters Network. Today, the Sturs will welcome in their rivals, the SLO Blues, for the fifth meeting of this week. I'm Hunter Shoemake alongside Nate Martin, and we welcome you to Eddie Matthews Field. Well, the Sturs have won their last two games against the Blues, Nate, with a come-from-behind victory last night in 10 innings.
Yeah, what a game that was. You mentioned down 3-0. Managed to get it back tied in the 8th before winning it in the 10th thanks to an Easton Mumon 2 RBI single. What a game that was, and hoping the fireworks continue today. The main story in this matchup to me has been the Foresters pitching. They've averaged 14 strikeouts a game versus the Blues in 4 meetings so far. If a guy like Zach James pitching today, making his first start of a season, I expect that strikeout success to continue.
And he'll be facing this lineup today for the Blues, leading off E.J. Royal. To bat second, Diego Murillo. Batting third, Andrew Raymond. To bat cleanup, Zach Tollerman. In the 5 spot, Sam Ardois. To bat 6th, Kosei Suzuki. To bat 7th, the DH, Charlie Caruso. To bat 8th, the catcher, Nico Button. And the 9-hole hitter will be Gavin Constantine, with Bryce Johnson to make his Blues debut, the starter for San Luis Obispo. But another great day from Santa Barbara. Not a cloud in the sky, breeze blowing out towards right field, a little bit warmer than it has been the last couple games for Santa Barbara. And who's going to take the season advantage? 5th game being played this week between these two teams. 2 wins and 2 losses for each club.
There's still so many more games to be played between these two.
And there was a standoff going down during the bullpens, and that's why a little bit of a delay with our home plate umpire saying no more. But we're about to get underway. Here is E.J. Royal and Zach James, the starter for Santa Barbara. First pitch of the ball game. And it's in there, strike one on E.J. Royal.
You know, the first time these two teams play was just a week ago, last Sunday. There was always that big kind of stare down between Pintard and the Blues manager, trainer.
And quickly, Royal down the count, 0-2 Royal. This series hitting 5 for 18, a .278 average through the 4 games being played this week.
And, you know, it's the tension still flying. These two teams, a lot of history, don't like each other. I'm sure there's a lot of, both times teams really want to get the win here.
And that's going to miss down. Ball 1. And the Sturs playing their 18th contest in CCL play. The Blues, their 20th CCL game, though it is their 28th overall contest here this afternoon. 1-2 pitch, check swing, and James thought he had his first punch up, but instead ball 2.
And that's something that James has done all season. He's get punch outs, 7 in just 4 innings pitched. Really high strikeout rate.
2-2, left side and line straight to Coleman Ryan, 1 down in the first. Here's the defense for Santa Barbara. Easton Mumaz at third. Coleman Ryan, who just made the play, is at short. Easton Rulli is at second. Caleb Huber at first. Zane Becker is doing the catching. In the outfield, Sawyer Farr in left. Maddox Mandino in center. And Brenton Clark out in right. So 1 away and the base is clear. That's going to bring him Diego Murillo. First pitch is a good delivery on the slider. Strike 1 on Murillo, who's gone 2 for 12 this series against Santa Barbara.
He's been one of their best hitters this season, around 324 throughout the year.
Just missing away from Zach James. First start of the year, though it is his 4th appearance. Pitched a few days back on the 25th and against the Blues. Here comes the next pitch. 2-hopper left side. Nice pick by Easton Mumon. A good play for the second out in the first.
Defense shining so far for the Foresters through 2 outs. That hard hit ball over to Ryan at short and then Mumon the 2-hopper. Fielded cleanly. That's exactly the defense that you've been getting over there at the hot corner all season long from Mumon.
And he's back to his traditional spot. Yesterday, not start the ball game. It was Aston Klepsch, then came in big when he pinch hit. Actually had 2 plate appearances in that game last night. Worked a walk, and then in the 10th inning, put the Sturs on top with 2 runs. But it's now strike 1 on Andrew Raymond. 2 down and the base is clear. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Fooled him, strike 2.
2 pitches low and inside on the 6'5" lefty. That's dangerous game to play against the power bat, but Raymond, but James is getting the whiffs, and that's all that counts so far.
Here comes the 0-2 delivery. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. And check down to our third base umpire. Ball 1. Nate, you mentioned the lefties. 3 lefties in the lineup today for the Blues. The lefty dominant lineup for the Stars. But now the 1-2 pitch. Fastball is high. 2-2.
High fastballs are always so tempting to power bats like Andrew Raymond. I like that decision by James.
2-2 delivery is going to miss away. And again, James thought he had called strike 3. Count is now full. Retired the first 2 men. Here comes a 3-2 pitch to Andrew Raymond. Lined up the middle, and a tough play for the shortstop. It gets through, and a 2-out knock for the SLO Blues.
Yeah, definitely a tough play to make. It was kind of hitting to the middle, weak contact, but it just got past Coleman Ryan. Not an easy play to make, and I don't fault him. Definitely can get away with that with 2 down.
That's the first hit of the series for Raymond. Now 1 for 10. And that's going to bring him Zach Tollerman. Back from the right side, 1 on, 2 down in the opening inning. James has been looking a lot of his pitches very well so far to start his outing. That's going to miss inside. Becker stumbled out behind the plate, but it is ball 1.
Landed a little awkwardly, but appears to be okay.
Man at first, and Tollerman, and the top bats in this lineup, sees a 1-0 pitch, a one-hopper, and it's off the backhand of Mumon, knocks it down, no play, and it is now first and second, 2 out in the first for San Luis Obispo.
Hard hit ball. Tough one to field if you're Tollerman. That'll be considered an error on Muma, according to our scores.
So 2-out error after the base hit by Raymond to bring up Sam Ardois. First and second, 2 down, and now a late chance for the Blues in this opening inning after James picked up 2 quick outs. Facing the number 5 batter. Here's a shot in the center, but back there is Maddox Mandino, slides over, and the side is retired. 2 left stranded in the first, and we go to the bottom of the inning. Forster bats coming up next.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Bottom of the first inning. No score, and here's the lineup today for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Leading off will be Maddox Mandino to bat second today. Cole Chamberlain serving as a DH to bat third, and at third, Easton Muma to bat fourth. In right field, Brenton Clark to bat fifth. The catcher, Zane Becker, to bat sixth, and in left field, Sawyer Farr. Number 7 batter, and at first will be Caleb Hoover, batting eighth, and at second, Easton Ruley, and the 9-hole hitter will be Coleman Ryan, the shortstop. And for the SLO Blues, their starting pitcher will make his Blues debut, the right-hander, the 6'3", 250-pound, 15-pound right-hander who plays for Oregon State.
Yeah, Bryce Johnson, 6'5", 6'3", 215, and had a spring. You want to forget, I hate to say it, but his last appearance, made 2 appearances. The last one against CSU Northridge only lasted a third of an inning, where he gave up 5 hits in 5 runs. So definitely something to wear off, but it's important in a sport like baseball, and especially as a pitcher, to just have the mind of a goldfish. Forget, carry over. It's a new summer. It's a new team. First start comes against a rival, and got an opportunity to impress yourself to the new pitching staff and players.
So here comes Maddox Mandino. The Stars wearing their pinstripes today, and this will be the final game of the summer for Maddox, who's going to be called shortly back to his university down in Louisiana. Might see him later on in Wichita on the NBC, but the last game of the regular season for Maddox being played here this afternoon.
Yeah, what a fun guy has to be on the team. Great presence in the dugout. Electric to watch, both as a hitter and a fielder.
Ball one to Maddox as he collected 3 hits yesterday, going 3 for 6, back in the top spot of the order, and has gone 5 for 14 in this series against the Blues. Spits on the 1-0 pitch, and he's quickly ahead 2-0 Chamberlain, and then Mumas scheduled in this inning.
Yeah, and you look at the series, especially for the Stars against a team like the Blues, who are a really talented team, but they still have an on-base percentage of around 400, which is really a testament to how good this team is at getting on.
Right on cue, Maddox Mandino ahead 3-0. Bryce Johnson facing his first batter of the summer. And here comes a 3-0 delivery to Mandino. And it's going to be a 4-pitch leadoff walk for the Stars. Mandino is aboard. Here's the defense for the SLO Blues. Gavin Constantine is at third. Sam Ardois is at short. Diego Murillo at second. Zach Tollerman is at first. Andrew Raymond is in left. E.J. Royal in center. Kosei Suzuki in right. And the catcher will be Nico Button. Leadoff man aboard for the Stars. And here's Cole Chamberlain, who's had a great series against the Blues this week. He's going to take a strike on the outside edge. He's gone 5 for 14 and brought home 6 runs.
Yeah, one of those came yesterday in the comeback effort. It's been really impressive the last couple weeks, Cole Chamberlain.
Mandino at first. Check over to him. And this season, Mandino's 6 stolen bases on 10 attempts.
And the one thing with, Chamberlain this series against the Blues is it's an OPS above 1,000. So not only is he getting hits, but he's...
And close at first base. Mandino still able to keep the trailing foot on the bag. Just outside your picture, kind of stumbled back off the bag.
Johnson has a really quick pickoff move. That's something to keep an eye on if you're the Stars.
Again on over to Mandino. 3 straight pickoff moves to Maddox, and Chamberlain still waits at an 0-1 count. This time Maddox is caught in the rundown. Here comes Tollerman, able to apply the tag, and Mandino was inching his way off of first base, but Johnson gets the final laugh. Mandino caught between the bases, 1 out in the first.
It's a dangerous game to play, Hunter. And the race unable to pay off there. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. After all those pickoff moves to finally get him, I would have played a little closer if I was Maddox, but that's not how they like to play.
That is ball 1 away to Chamberlain, so it's a 1-1 count now for the DH, and we've progressively seen Cole Chamberlain just get bumped up in the lineup consistently. He was batting 5th. Yesterday was batting 3rd, now batting 2nd today for Bill Pintard. So the base is now clear. 1 down, 1-1 is a slider. Hard hit into right for a base hit. First hit of the day for the Stars, courtesy of Chamberlain.
You see why they moved him up in the order. Nice job by Cole. Getting a good pitch to hit and taking it on the ground, past the infield and into the outfield. Nice play by Cole. Just like that, another runner on.
6th hit of the series for Chamberlain. So here's Easton Mumma. We'll take a ball away, and Easton, at his first plate appearance last night in the 8th, worked a walk. And Spencer Gallimore then, notably in the 10th inning with a ghost runner being placed at second. 2 RBI single, hard hit down the left field line to give the Stars their first lead of the game. He's quickly ahead 2-0.
That's the big thing here with Johnson. He's almost all of his pitches have been out of the zone so far. You might as well just wait until you get something to swing at and take advantage of it.
A third straight lefty facing Johnson today. He glares over to first at the corner of his eye. 2-0 pitch. Big swing from Easton. 2-1.
Thought he was going to get something to swing at there on the 2-0. Instead, Johnson went to the off speed, low and inside. Muma couldn't resist the temptation.
1 on, 1 away. It's a 2-1 pitch. Maybe a broken bat. It's popped up in a shallow left. The shortstop will go back, make the play. It's Ardois. No chance at first base, even though the ball will now get away past the first baseman. Chamberlain will go down to second. Actually peppers him off the back, and Muma is retired, but great base running from Chamberlain on an errant throw from the shortstop over to first. And Cole is now in the scoring position.
That's heads-up play right there by Cole Chamberlain. Saw the throw go away and took off. That was a close play over at second, but he got on, and just like that, runner in scoring position here for the Stars of 2 down.
He'll officially go down as an E6 to bring up Brenton Clark. Can Santa Barbara strike first in the 5th game of the week between these two clubs? Squared around to bunt. He's going to take a ball. Clark this series has gone 1 for 9, but 4 walks to his name. Did have a pinch hit single last night in the 8th. And plated the first run in a 2-run 8th inning for the Foresters. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. And sprayed over third base, dugout 1-1.
You know, we love to reference Moneyball all the time.
Oh, yes.
And you're not going to complain about 4 walks across the series through 4 games.
Absolutely none.
Making up for it in the aggregate.
Exactly. On the year, a .532 on-base percentage for Clark. The best in the lineup today and the best on the team. Comes the 1-1. That's inside, gets past the catcher, down to third, Chamberlain. And the Stars have the first run 90 feet away on the wild pitch.
Seen a lot of pitches out of his zone, but nothing that has reached the backstop yet for Johnson. It's a tough one to give up with down to your final out.
Count is now 2-1 for Clark. Check swing, that ball gets away from third base. Chamberlain is coming home. The play at the plate, safe. And Santa Barbara have a 1-0 lead over the Blues.
It's a dangerous game to play, and you saw he went to the exact same pitch, and it missed again. And Chamberlain took advantage yet again, sliding in safe. Very close play at the plate, but job by Cole to beat the tag.
And it is now 3-1 for Brenton Clark. That's on the outside edge, so with the run in, base is clear. That run scoring with 2 down in the first. Remember, it was a base hit from Chamberlain in E6 and advancing to third on a wild pitch as he did to come home. Count is now full. Here comes a 3-2 delivery to Clark. Left side, here is Constantine, held his ground, and he will retire Clark at first base. But the Stars, through 1, now have a 1-0 lead over the Blues.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. AAA Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
On to the second inning between the San Luis Obispo Blues and the Santa Barbara Foresters. 6-7-8 coming up for the Blues with Zach James remaining in this ballgame. The starter, just his first start of the season, fourth appearance for Santa Barbara. It'll be a righty, lefty scheduled for San Luis Obispo, and Santa Barbara now have a one-run advantage over the Blues. That is strike one on Kosei Suzuki.
Yeah, and you talk about how this is James' first start, but he has experience starting at this level. Had made 4 starts at college with TCU. As a freshman, very impressive.
Chop. Right side here is Easton Ruley, the second baseman today. Fielded that ball well, and Kosei is retired, one away in the second.
And that's why James has been trusted to get the start. We've seen the strikeout stuff so far, but he's also can do a really good job of getting weak contact and trusting his defense to make some plays. We've already seen a couple of ground outs and some weak hits in the outfield. Really nice job by Zach to get that out there.
Here's the DH, the number 7 batter, Charlie Caruso, to bat from the left side. First pitch at 91 misses in from James. There's ball 1.
Caruso, a newer guy for the Blues as well, and coming over from Northwestern where he just wrapped up his freshman year.
1-0 pitch. Sprayed over the third base dugout, 1-1.
Didn't get too much run with the Wildcats, but, it's a tough adjustment to make, especially at that catching position, change in pitching velocity and the looks and stuff, and then obviously still going to be a lot of balls in the dirt, and there's more pressure on you to stop them from doing that.
He's going to take a fastball away, 2-1, and Caruso was the catcher last night. Very thrilling game when the Blues went up 3 runs entering the 6th inning, and Santa Barbara Foresters clawed their way back into it. 2-1 away, 3 balls and a strike. Caruso this series has gone 1 for 5. He has been cycled in and out of the lineup by Dean Traynor, the manager for the Blues. 3-1 delivery, and that's in there. Fastball, full count.
Big for James to get that strike in the zone. Now 3-2, it's in your favor again as the pitcher.
Shakes off a couple from Zane Becker. Zach James, the payoff pitch to Caruso. And that's in there, called strike 3, 2 down in the second.
But he still got that strikeout stuff. First K of the day for James, and that's what we've seen from him all season.
James entering this outing, 4 1/3 innings pitch. Only 2 hits, no walks to 7 strikeouts. He does have 1 save to his ledger. And of course, as we have said at first start of the season, swing and a miss for Nico Button, who stands in 2 down and the bases clear with the Foresters leading 1-0, top of the second. Working quickly, induces a ground ball up the middle, and it will just get past Coleman Ryan. Ricochets into center field and a 2-out base runner for the Blues.
Another 2-out situation where the Blues runner gets on. Tough for the Stars to give up in that situation.
It looks like it's going to go down as an E6. So a 2-out base runner and 2-out error to bring up Gavin Constantine. First pitch is located nicely by Zach James on the inside edge, strike one.
Second error in 2 innings for the Stars. This defense has got to get cleaned up.
That's inside, in and out of the glove. Runner holds. Ball and a strike for Constantine.
It was a tough play to make, Ryan had to cover a lot of ground, but errors lead to base runners, and base runners lead to runs.
Constantine this series has gone 1 for 7. The man on, 2 away. This ball is fair down the first baseline. Out comes James, and he will make the play at first base. And Zach James works around a 2-out error. Constantine retired. And through 1.5, Santa Barbara on top of 1-0 over the Blues. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Bottom of the second inning, Zane Becker, Sawyer Farr, Caleb Hoover will be scheduled for the Santa Barbara Forsters. Bryce Johnson did give up a run in the first inning. It was Cole Chamberlain to get on base. After a leadoff walk by Mandino was caught out on the bases, Chamberlain picked up the first hit of the day and scored the lone run.
Yeah, good start to the game. It was mainly because, Johnson was having a hard time locating some of those pitches. Now, inning down, maybe perhaps a little bit more settled in as he faces 5, 6, and 7 for the Stars.
First pitch swinging on the backhand. It is Ardois, but in and out of the glove, and Becker is aboard.
Becker's still in search of his first hit. I don't know if we'll count that as his first hit as a Star, but gets on base yet again. Did a good job of that in his debut a couple days back. Does it again here in the bottom of the second.
And it will be an E6, and already the third error of this ball game.
Fourth.
Yes, fourth. Correction. 2 on both teams now.
Second error on the shortstop for SLO Ardois as well.
First pitch to the switch hitter. It's in there for a strike, and Sawyer to bat from the left side against the right-hander Bryce Johnson. Sawyer this series has gone 2 for 14, has brought home 2 runs. Looks to work around Becker at first. The strike one pitch will miss down and away on the changeup 1-1.
Good take there by Sawyer, not going around.
Here comes a 1-1. I'll be missing down at 88 from Bryce Johnson. For Becker, currently in terms of plate appearances, he's now gone 0 for 2 with that error, but getting on base 3 times so far in just a short time with the Santa Barbara Forsters. See what kind of running game Bill Pintard puts into him. Comes a 2-1. Fastball high, ball 3.
Have to be aware of that pickoff move, though, from Johnson. It caught a guy like Maddox Mandino off guard.
Right.
Very easily could catch Zane Becker off as well.
Inching off of first is Becker. Here comes a 3-1 pitch, and that is down for ball 4. Sawyer Farr is aboard via walk, and it's now first and second. No outs in the second frame.
This is something that the Stars couldn't do last time around, was get multiple base runners on at the same time, and that's when things start to get a little concerning if you're SLO Blues, as we're starting to see some movement, maybe perhaps in that San Luis Obispo bullpen.
Second is Becker. First is Farr, and at the plate now is Caleb Hoover. Checked his swing. Able to lay off of it. Well done from Caleb. Ball 1.
Hoover, despite the average being a little lower this year, he's gotten on base really well. 361 OBP. Great number to have.
First and second, nobody out. Sprays off the 1-0 pitch, jammed near the hands. That is strike 1. In this series for Caleb, 1 for 9. Did not see him yesterday in the contest up in SLO. The 10-inning affair when the Stars leveled the season series 2 games apiece. Now the 1-1. Slider is rolled back to the hill. Here comes Johnson. Tough play, and he was able to make the play, but productive out, essentially a sacrifice for Hoover. Becker to third, down to second, Farr.
Yeah, pretty much just is a sacrifice bunt. Advance the runners into scoring position. And fielders on the corner playing in now, all throws you expect be coming home here.
And it's now going to be Easton Ruley to hit for the first time this game. Santa Barbara looked to open up this game early. The first pitch located nicely, strike 1.
Something that Ruley's done a really good job of this season has been getting RBIs and bringing runners in. Still one of the team leaders in that statistic.
He has 14, and he's got 15 and 16 in scoring position. Comes an 0-1. Good take and a great cover from Button, 1-1.
It's a couple times where a slider from Johnson's missed that far out. Button wasn't ready for it last inning. Time saved another run.
Big chance for Santa Barbara to open up this 1-run advantage. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. And for Easton this series, we haven't seen a whole lot of them in the 4 games against SLO. He's yet to record an AB. He did have one plate appearance when he was hit by a pitch. Can he at least elevate something in the outfield and score Becker from third? 1-2 delivery is foul. Back. We'll do it again.
Was close doing it there, but just under it. Get it timed up as well.
If you're wondering, the number 9 batter, Coleman Ryan, is next for Santa Barbara. So far at second, Sam Becker is at third. Here comes the 1-2 delivery to Easton Ruley. Swing and a miss on the slider. Got him. 2 down in the second.
Big out for SLO.
Now batting. Shortstop.
First strikeout of the day for Bryce Johnson. And that's going to bring up Coleman Ryan. And Ryan had a very nice day yesterday in the game against the SLO Blues. 2 for 5 and also a run batted in. Just a short time with Santa Barbara. Already 3 RBIs this season. 2 down, second and third for the shortstop. Strike 1.
6 hits as well. I mean, he's obviously very limited sample size, but he's leading the team in average by 60, you know, it's 429. All singles, though, so far.
Nothing in 1 the count for Coleman Ryan. That's just going to miss away. Great take. 1-1.
Really good take as well. 3 walks through 4 games. It's getting on base.
The man at second, man at third. Bryce Johnson, the 6'3" right-hander. 1-1 delivery, strike two.
Johnson's starting to get some of that sliders working where he's able to get the swing and misses. Got to tighten up if you're Ryan.
Coleman's first game for Santa Barbara was on the 24th. A game at SLO earlier in the week. A big 1-2 pitch coming up for Ryan. Good take on the slider, 2-2.
Yeah, you knew that was coming. He got the strikeout on that pitch last time. He's already gotten a swing and miss from Ryan on that pitch this at bat. Smart move by Coleman holding off.
2-2 now the count. Maddox Mandino would be next if Ryan could get aboard. 2-2 delivery. Right side and back to the hill. It's going to be Johnson to do it himself. And holding on to him and outside your picture frame was Coleman Ryan grabbing the backside as he kind of stumbled into the bag right after Johnson made the play. But the Sturs leave two stranded in scoring position. On to the third. Santa Barbara by 1.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Through two, the Santa Barbara Foresters maintain a 1-run advantage. Zach James will now face the top of the order in the third. E.J. Royal, Diego Murillo, and Andrew Raymond scheduled for the Blues.
Solid so far from James. Hasn't allowed a runner past second. Strike out and getting his defense a lot of work so far as well, so I'm sure they're all happy about that.
First time up, Royal had a line out to the shortstop. That is Coleman Ryan defensively there today. And on the reminder on the defense for the Sturs, Mumont third, Ryan at short. Rulli at second, Hoover's at first. Sam Becker does a catching. Sawyer Farr's in left. Mandino center. Brenton Clark in right. First pitch sliders located. Strike one.
Royal last time around had hit right to Coleman Ryan that he was able to catch.
Over to Ryan again. Charging in is the shortstop. And the throw a little bit high, but there is Caleb Hoover at first. Royal retired 6-3.
Thank goodness for the big frame of Caleb Hoover being ready for that one. Tough play. Ryman had to cover a lot of distance in a short amount of time. Scooped it up, hurled it over. High throw, but Hoover at 6'2" was able to stand tall and retrieve it.
So one down, bases clear. Here is Diego Murillo. Santa Barbara by a run. First pitch fastball at 90, misses upstairs. Murillo's been pretty consistent in this order for San Luis Obispo throughout this season. And a couple middle infielders used by Dean Trainer. Fooled on the slider, 1-1.
You know, Murillo, a local guy as well from San Luis Obispo. It must be really cool for him, you know. We've seen in the Arroyo games up at Sinsheimer Park how many people go to them. It's packed out every single time, a lot of young families. And it must be really special for Murillo to be able to play for that team that he probably grew up watching in SLO.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Now at 1-2 count, Zach James Straight 2 pitch to Murillo. Spray down the right field line. Foul. Nice crowd is filled in here at Santa Barbara High School. Nice Sunday afternoon. A little bit warmer today. Nothing too hot, but warmer than what it has been. It's been a bit of a cooler week here in Santa Barbara for summertime. But it remains 1-2 for Murillo. Hard hit up the middle. Here comes Coleman. Ryan ranges all the way over that. Release time from the shortstop. Hello.
Hello, indeed. What a play by Coleman Ryan. I mean, the time from the scoop to the throw was ridiculous, Hunter.
It was very, very fast. Great play by the shortstop, 2 down. And here is now Andrew Raymond.
Again, just relying on the defense.
First pitch will miss away, and Raymond has the lone hit of the day for the Blues. Base hit up the middle. 1-0 pitch is a high towering fly ball to right field. Brenton Clark moves over, calls off Mandino, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down for James. They're 2.5. Santa Barbara still on top, 1-0 over San Luis Obispo.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Bottom of the third, and Santa Barbara on top 1-0 over the SLO Blues. Some great defense, some solid pitching, inducing ground ball really for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Of pitchers been relying on their defense so far, though. If you have to say which one's looks more vulnerable, it's the man on the mound right now, Johnson.
Miss on the first pitch to Mandino. It's going to be Maddox, Cole Chamberlain, and then Easton Muma top of the order for Santa Barbara.
James has an issue to walk today. Johnson's issued 2 through 2.
A 1-0 pitch at 87 will miss down from Maddox, and he did have a leadoff walk and then was picked off, gotten the rundown between first and second in the opening inning. Mandino ahead, 2-0 pitch is foul. Back 2-1.
Got the green light there. That's the first time we've seen Mandino swing his bat. Walked on 4 pitches last time and then was ahead 2-0 there.
Santa Barbara playing with confidence against their rivals. Beat the Blues for the first time this season on Wednesday. A strong 10-3 victory. Here's a 2-1. And that is away for ball 3. And then last night, I should say, last time that they played, which was last night, the 5-4 victory in 10 innings. Here comes a 3-1 pitch, and that's on the outside edge. Full count.
Tough pitch right there. Just backdoored him with the breaking ball.
And here comes the payoff pitch to the leadoff man. And he will stay alive, just taps it back. Means 3-2. for Maddox. That walk in the first inning, his second walk of the series to go along with 5 hits. What can he do here? 3-2 delivery is tapped back again. Great fight from Mandino.
Big first at bat as well to get longer ABs against the pitchers. Nice job by Maddox.
This will now be the 8th pitch of the plate appearance for Mandino. Here comes the delivery from Johnson, and that is away, ball 4, Mandino. Second walk of the day. Man who's playing his final game of the regular season with Santa Barbara. On base for the second time to bring him Cole Chamberlain.
Doing it the way the Stars know how. Get on base. Back-to-back walks for Maddox.
And talk about the walking numbers for the Stars this season, Nate. 115 entering today. That is just through 17 games. Strike 1 on Chamberlain.
It's just, being patient in your at-bats, waiting for the right pitches. Playing Moneyball style.
Mm-hmm. You look at the numbers on the flip side for the Blues. They have 70 walks through 19 games. So 1 game more than 45 less walks entering today than Santa Barbara. And Mandino, not nearly the same lead that he had first time up at first.
To be fair, with his speed, he doesn't need to take too big of a lead, and he'll still probably be able to make it into second in time.
Means nothing one for Chamberlain, who has a base hit and a right today. Hard hit ground ball through the right side. Big swing, strike 2. It was Chamberlain who scored first run in this game for Santa Barbara. Able to get all the way around the bases and come home on a wild pitch. He's behind here. Johnson, the 0-2 delivery. High and away, ball 1.
Something that Johnson's done here that he hasn't been able to do a lot today has been get ahead on the counts against Chamberlain. Not an easy guy to do it, but to do it against, exactly what Bryce has done.
Ball and 2 strikes. Mandino at first, check over to him. And even though Mandino was caught off and for the first out in the first inning, one of the best base runners on this team. The best speed we've seen all season long, Nate, how fast and quick Mandino is. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, great cover, but Mandino sees some daylight, and he will capitalize.
Nice job by Maddox reading that one. Eyes locked on the prize, and when he saw that ball heading straight to the dirt, he took off.
Bill Pintard always stresses speed kills. Sometimes you do get caught off on the bases, give away some outs, but it's what Bill Pintard loves to do and how they play here in Santa Barbara. Here comes the 2-2. Hard hit left side, and that ball is outside of third. Means 2-2.
Just went foul. That was a close one.
So Mandino at second, nobody out. Bottom of the third inning in Santa Barbara after they had 5 straight unanswered runs through 9.5 innings. And the Blues tacked on 1 late last night to pull within 1. Stars level the season series. They look to take the season series lead this afternoon. 2-2 pitches down. Good check on the swing from Chamberlain. Full count.
Fighting back in this at-bat again. This is another longer at-bat for Johnson. Back-to-back, that's tough for a guy who feels like he's on a relatively tight leash here.
This will now be the 7th pitch of the plate appearance for Chamberlain. And that is away. Ball 4, back-to-back walks. Getting deep in the counts. First and second, nobody down in the third.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 23.
Nice job.
Muma.
Now Muma with 2 on, nobody out. Stars looking to take advantage.
For San Luis Obispo, now a game under 500 with their loss yesterday to Santa Barbara, 9-10 record for the Blues, and the Sturs still maintain a half-game advantage over Conejo in the Southern Division. Now the first pitch to Easton Mumaw, squares around to bunt, takes strike one. In case you're wondering, Conejo playing later today against Orange County, but that game starting around 5 o'clock local time, so we won't know the result on that one till later today. 0-1 for Mumaw. Bunts it down the third base line, and here comes Constantine. Will retire Easton, but the sacrifice complete. Mandino to third, to second Chamberlain, one down in the third.
Second inning in a row with 2 in scoring position, 1 down. Got left on base last time out, but with 4, 5, and 6 coming up, Clark and Becker, you'd hope that it'd be different, Hunter. You'd hope.
So here's Brenton Clark. And if you've been following the Forsters this season, you know that Clark loves going the other way. Hits in the left is his bread and butter. Currently has a ground out to third. First pitch on the outside edge with the infield pinching in, strike one.
I think in this situation, though, you're trying to send it down, pull aside, make it a harder throw over to third or to home plate than it would be down the left field line.
Mandino's at third, Chamberlain at second, both reaching on back-to-back walks given up by Johnson. Strike one pitch, and that's in the dirt. Good cover by Button, 1-1.
A big cover by Button as well.
Zane Becker stands on deck for Santa Barbara. They put up a run in the first, and the Sturs, can they capitalize? And you just said they left 2 in scoring position in the previous inning. 1-1 pitch is going to be down at 87, 2-1.
Good take by Clark. Just got to be patient here. You know, last time the Sturs got into this situation, Johnson was able to induce a couple swing and misses. If you're Clark, just be patient. Wait for the right pitch.
2-1 delivery, check swing, great take, fantastic take, really, 3-1.
Yeah, really good job pulling that one back.
After back-to-back walks to start off this inning, and time now being called,
Intentionally walked him.
they're just going to put him on.
Yeah.
So that's going to load up the bases. And here comes the manager, Dean Trainer, out of the third base dugout. There's been no one tossing down that left field bullpen. The batter will now be Zane Becker.
Simple objective here. Ground ball ends the inning. They decided they don't want to take any. Want to play it a little risky. You know, that's something that's an interesting decision to me because Brenton Clark has a lot of speed at first right now. Zane Becker, pretty proven bat at the college level his past season with Arkansas where he hit around 250, slugging around 400, so he's got some good pop. It's a risky decision, but it's one you feel like you can maybe go through with here.
So it would be Becker next. And if he's able to reach Sawyer Farr, granted only a single out in this inning and barring any double play, Farr will be the next batter after Becker. Bases filled with Forsters. Mandino third, Chamberlain at second. Clark was just put on a 3-1 count. And it is now Becker who reached in the second on an error by the shortstop. Big crossroad in this ball game already, just in the third. That's ball one in the dirt. And again, Button been working hard already in this game.
Really been working hard, but he's done a good job like protecting those balls. Something we've seen from him so far this series.
Wins straight away into center field. Only a single out. 1-0 pitch is low for ball 2.
Good take by Becker.
And the corners pinched in. The middle infielders Double play depth, and you see the plate umpire usher Bill Pintard back in the first base dugout. He was more standing near the on-deck circle talking with Sawyer far outside your picture, but he's back on the railing, first base dugout. Comes the 2-0 pitch. That's away, ball 3.
That's when you got to question the decision, you know. Ahead 3-0. Don't expect Becker to swing here with a walk scoring a run.
Sawyer Farr's next. Bases filled, 1 out, and the 3-0 pitch on the outside edge, 3-1.
A big strike. Got to do it again if you're Johnson.
And the starting right-hander gets himself back in the count for the Blues. Here comes a 3-1 pitch to Zane Becker. On the ground, left side, and it gets through. In the shallow left, Mandino scores.
They're calling that back. I said that went foul. I think it might have. I felt like that went off the bag, Hunter. Took a weird hop towards foul line, and that's a tough break for Zane Becker.
So everyone goes back to their respective positions, and Becker's going to retrieve the lumber. That was real close.
Very, very close. It's like that count's not full.
It is 3-2 now for Becker. And Bryce Johnson, the starter for the Blues, after falling behind 3-0, now is a full count. Mandino's back at third, Chamberlain second, Clark at first. 1 down, bottom of the third. Here comes a payoff pitch to Becker. Swing and a miss, strikes him out, 2 down in the third. And after what you felt like it would be at least 1 run for Santa Barbara, with Mandino coming around to score on the ball that was just outside of third base. Initially looked like Mandino was coming home to score. Instead, runners hold, now 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, that is a really tough break for Santa Barbara.
It's now going to be the switch hitter, Sawyer Farr. Worked a walk in his first time up against Johnson. Infield now playing back as Johnson looks for a ground ball to get out of this jam. First pitch is down, ball 1.
You're still bases loaded here. Can't walk far. And if you're Sawyer, be patient with your pitches. Wait for the right things. That strikeout on the last at-bat, the fastball was high out of his zone, and Becker went chasing. Can't do that if you're Sawyer Farr.
Bounced outside of first base, 1-1, and Farr's one of the best on this roster this season, getting on base.
One of the best at scoring runs as well. He's got 15 RBIs on the season.
He has 2 of those ribbies in this series against the Blues. Had one yesterday. Bases filled with Foresters, 2 down. Bryce Johnson, 1-1 pitch. And that is down and in, ball 2. This is the second straight inning when the Santa Barbara Foresters had their first 2 men aboard. They left 2 stranded in scoring position in the last. Bryce Johnson, 2-1 delivery. That is just down, 3-1.
What are you expecting to get something to swing at here? Johnson's missed a couple of times in a row now on pitches that were very close to his own.
Nowhere to put Farr. Here comes a 3-1 pitch, and that is on the corner, low in the zone, full count.
The best situation in baseball, Hunter. Bases loaded, 2 outs in a tight game. It's only the 3rd inning, but you feel like this is a big moment in the game.
Johnson looks to cycle through a couple with Button. Everyone on the move. Comes a 3-2 pitch to Farr. Right side, here is Murillo. And the throw will be on target, and Sawyer Farr will be retired, and the bases will be left loaded for Santa Barbara. Unable to cash in after the first two men work walks, and we're on to the fourth. 1-0, Santa Barbara.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties. And as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
The Foresters have a 1-0 lead in the top of the fourth inning over the San Luis Obispo Blues. 4, 5, and 6 will be scheduled for SLO, Tollerman, Ardois, and Suzuki. With Zach James remaining in this ball game. That was his 40th pitch tossed, strike one on Tollerman.
What a massive swing and miss from Zach. My goodness.
Here comes the strike one pitch on Tollerman. Check swing on the slider away. 1-1 was a defensive change for Bill Pintard. Addison Klepsch will take over at short for Coleman Ryan. We hope everything's okay. Remember, when that play down at first base, it was outside your picture frame. It kind of ran into the pitcher, so to speak. Here's a 1-1 for strike two, and kind of grabbed onto his backside as he was running towards first, and we hope he's all right, but Klepsch now in at short.
And it was a risky play by Bryce Johnson to try and beat him out over there. That paid off, got the out.
The 1-2 pitch is down and away. Good take by Tollerman, 2-2.
To say something that's I've been really impressed with from SLO so far is they've done a good job not swinging at the two-strike pitches. There's been a couple of really tough looks, and they haven't been fooled yet.
Here comes the 2-2 to Tollerman. Hard hit to the backhand of Easton Muma at third. And a nice play from the man at the hot corner, one down in the fourth.
Now playing at shortstop for the Foresters.
That's
number
valuable
3,
defense from Easton Muma.
Klepsch.
Stars, besides a couple of errors, been really impressive so far in the infield.
Tollerman back to the third base dugout, and that's going to bring up Sam Ardois. Stars just leading by 1 run, which they collected in the first frame. First pitch to Ardois will be located for a strike, and Ardois to line out to center. First time up, Mandino is out there playing in his final game of the regular season with Santa Barbara. The 0-1 from James. Foul back into the chain link fence, strike two.
James getting ahead 0-2. Love to see a strikeout here, Hunter.
And has been a point of emphasis from this pitching staff the last, not only point of emphasis, but a point of excellence this past series. Here's the 0-2, strikes him out. Foul tip back in the glove. Second punchy of the day for James.
And I'm sure it's a point of emphasis on all pitching staffs.
Right.
And it's been, as you said, a point of excellence from the Stars, as I demonstrated there. 3 pitches, 3 strikes for Zach James right there to Sam Ardois.
You mentioned at the start of the broadcast, in this series, Santa Barbara pitching averaging 14 strikeouts a game. First pitch is fouled off by Kosei Suzuki, 0-1.
And I'm sure that some Fundine trainer and the rest of the Blues pitching staff and the players, honestly, are aware of the amount of punch-outs the Stars have had against them. And definitely seen a lot more patient at-bats here from SLO.
This one's popped up short left. Here comes Sawyer far, but going back is Klepsch, and it's going to be the shortstop to make the squeeze. And 7 straight now retired in order by Zach James. He is rolling. Going to the bottom of the 4th inning, Stars still on top, 1-0 over the Blues.
Reminder, young fans, if you would like to participate in Finney's foot race at the
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Stars by a run. Bottom 3 scheduled, Hoover, Ruley, and then Klepsch to hit for the first time, with Bryce Johnson remaining in this game. He has tossed 70 pitches through 3 innings.
That is a ridiculous number, and it speaks to how many Stars have gotten on base. And thankfully for Johnson, how many Stars have been left on base? 5 through 3 innings.
Stars left the bases loaded in the last and had 2 on in scoring position in the second.
And that's something that they've struggled with this series against SLO. They've left 13 batters on compared to SLO's 4.
1-0 pitch is launched in the center field. In comes E.J. Royal, 1 down in the 4th.
Covered a lot of ground there out in center, Royal, but
now batting,
and the easy
the
play
second
and
baseman, number 9,
quick out 1. I'm sure that's a nice one to get if you're Bryce Johnson.
Ruley.
In the last 2 innings, the first 2 men have gotten aboard. Back in the second, it was an E6, and then back-to-back walks to start the 3rd. A flyout to start the 4th to give way to Easton Ruley. And Ruley swings away, strike 1. You can hear Bill Pintard encouraging Ruley from the first base dugout. Strike 1 pitch, popped up right side. Here's Murillo, the second baseman. That had some hang time, 2 down in the 4th.
Couple pitches in a row now with some hang time. And both of them resulting in outs.
Now batting,
2 quick ones here for the Stars.
number 3, Addison.
So a 2 down, base is clear. Here is Klepsch to hit for the first time today. Batting at the 9 spot, and now the shortstop to take over for Coleman Ryan. First pitch nearly hits him, ball 1.
Klepsch been having a really good series against the Blues. Leads the Foresters in average against this team.
It's quickly had 2-0, and notably game on the 25th when Santa Barbara took their first win of the series, winning 10-3. Went 3 for 4 with a walk and brought home 4 runs. It was a 2-0 pitch. That is down, ball 3.
He's getting ahead on the count here. This is see for Santa Barbara after the 2 quick outs. Back to what we're used to in the second and third innings.
Here comes the 3-0 delivery to Klepsch, and that is located for strike 1 by Bryce Johnson.
Took the 3-0. Now you got 3-1. Expect another thing in the zone. I'd be surprised to see Klepsch turn on one here.
Chopped on one hop over the hill, charging in is Murillo. The throw is in time. Good defense by the second baseman to back up the pitcher. And it's a very quick 3 up, 3 down, 4th inning for Johnson. 3 or 4 innings, Santa Barbara still on top 1-0 over the Blues. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Back in Santa Barbara, on to the 5th inning, brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's now has 2 locations in Santa Barbara, one on Lower State Street and one in Goleta. Finney's is a great place to gather before or after any Forester game. Finney's Craft House. It's a 1-0 Forester lead, as Caruso, Button, Constantine will be coming up to face Zach James for the 2nd time today. Ball 1 away as Caruso struck out looking against James back in the 2nd. Here comes the 1-0 to the designated hitter. Big swing for strike 1. And yet at some point in this game, you feel like one of these teams is going to bust through. I mean, Santa Barbara, of course, they've had some chances in the 2nd and 3rd, but there's this 1-0 lead. You feel like it's a matter of time for either side before some damage is done. Here's the 1-1, and that's in there for strike 2.
Oh, I think it's going to be really tough with the way that Zach James is pitching. Less strikeout stuff and more just trusting his defense and weak contact. He's looked really good through 4.
Here comes a 1-2 pitch. That is high for ball 2, and just 1 hit given up, and just 3 base runners, 2 of which reached on errors, but just no walks and 1 base hit with 2 down in the 1st. James has been fantastic. Here's a 2-2. Strikeout number 3 to start off the 5th.
And the 2nd on Caruso. James has his number.
One away and the base is clear. Here comes Nico Button.
41, Nico Button.
So Button to hit from the left side. 2 lefties to start off this inning to face Zach James. Swings on the first pitch down to foul ground. Maybe a chance, but an outside chance. That ball will fall right in front of the bullpen for Sawyer Farr. That is strike 1. And we talk about, Nate, how good James has been today. Through 4 1/3. We were told by pitching coach today, Tyler Fino or Jaden Barfield will likely be the first 2 out of the pen, or either one be the first man out. The lefty Barfield and Fino, the right-hander. That's inside 1-1.
Yeah, I expect if James goes another inning or so, it would be Barfield to come back around and face this lefty-heavy part of the lineup. If not, I would not be surprised if they go back-to-back TCU Horned Frogs.
Here's a drive into right. Brenton Clark has to go back, and that ball is down and over the wall. And that is an automatic double for Nico Button. He will go into second base. That ball out of play over the right field fence.
It's a tough one to judge. The first time we've really seen James get barreled up today. It's a well-hit ball, and Clark, he's great out and right. Really good defender, but sun shining. Doesn't appear to have his glasses on, and they're on the brim of his hat, and maybe would have liked them there on that high fly ball.
Here's Gavin Constantine. Will take a strike on the slider, 0-1.
It's really the first time we've seen James under a bit of pressure since the first.
Strike one pitch. On the ground, left side, here's Easton Mumaw. He will hold the runner and will retire Constantine at first. 2 down in the 5th.
Good, ideal second out right there. Exactly where you wanted that ball to go to get that second out and hold the runner from reaching third.
And that's going to bring around the top of the order, E.J. Royal. He's gone 0 for 2. A line out to short and then a ground out to short. Remember, now the shortstop is Addison Klepsch. First pitch is down in the dirt. Ball 1. And Royals had a pretty nice series against the Foresters. Has collected 5 hits from the top men in that department so far this season series. Time being called, and it's going to be Bill Pintard to saunter his way out of the first base dugout to talk with his starter.
James falling behind the count here. Top of the order coming around. I'm not surprised to see Pintard come out.
And Tyler Fino, the right-hander, is throwing, so to answer that question, it might be the right-hander, and it looks like he'd be the first man out of the pen.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. This is the righty part of the lineup. Only one lefty in the first 6 batters, and then obviously you go down to Caruso and Button at 7 and 8.
Jason Wutch serving as the pitching coach today. He's the secondary pitching coach when Scott Murray not here this weekend, so Jason holding and maintaining all the pitching duties for all the arms down in that bullpen this weekend. It's 1-0 for Royal. And that's a nice slider. Strike 1.
Way to attack after the mound visit. Exactly what you want to see for Pintard.
Royal has 9 runs batted in this season. Looks to tie this game with a base hit. 1-1. Tap back. Strike 2.
The ball boy race, always so fun to watch. Won by the Foresters ball boy Fish.
Big race just outside your picture frame near the third base on deck circle. But now the 1-2 pitch to Royal is popped up. And a foul ground moving over is Caleb Hoover. He slipped a little bit, but will maintain his footing and make the squeeze outside of first base. And E.J. Royal, a foul out victim. And after the double by Button, he is stranded onto the bottom of the inning. Stirs still on top, 1-0 over the Blues.
Attention, young fans, if you would like to participate in the hula hoop competition.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Bottom of the fifth inning, and the Foresters still on top 1-0 over the Blues. And this fifth inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's has a couple locations in Santa Barbara, and a great place to gather before or after any Forester game. Finney's Craft House. First time either side has gone to the bullpen today. Riley Marcotte, the left-hander, will now take over after Brian Johnson, the starter, went 4, and he will face the top of the order, Mandino, Chamberlain, and Mumma, 3 lefties.
3 lefties, and they go with the lefty to counter that Marcotte. The portal after 2 years of Louisiana Lafayette. Raging Cajun on Raging Cajun here, Hunter.
Mandino sharply hits it to the first baseman. A diving play by Tollerman. Fantastic work by the first baseman as Mandino is retired 1 away in the 5th.
That was a bullet. Great play by the Blues first baseman, Tollerman.
The Stars have seen Marcotte. He did pitch on the 24th when the Blues won 7-5. Marcotte actually picked up the victory in that ball game when he pitched after Hunter Hammond. There's a first pitch high and in for Chamberlain, ball 1.
He has been easing arm for slow, an ERA around 7.5. Has struggled with the walks.
Comes a 1-0 pitch to Chamberlain. That's going to miss upstairs for ball 2.
Chamberlain doing a good job getting ahead.
When Marcotte pitched on the 24th, he went 2 innings, picked up the win, no hits, no runs, did walk 4 and struck out 2. But the count in the favor now of Chamberlain. 2-0 delivery is popped up in the right. Kosei Suzuki will camp out under it. 2 down in the 5th. Chamberlain retired for the first time today after a base hit and a walk, and that's going to bring up Easton Mumma, who is 0 for 1, pop up to short, and is laid down to sacrifice today.
Yeah, of course, the hero from yesterday. And the kickstart something here of just 2 outs.
First pitch swinging, strike 1. And with Marcotte now in this game and this lefty dominant lineup for Santa Barbara, 5 true lefties, then the switch hitter Farr. You look back to that game on the 24th. It was Marcotte the first man out, then another lefty, Reynoso, was the second man out of the bullpen. There was ball 1 to Mumma.
Makes sense. You know, not every team has the luxury to pull lefty out of after lefty from their bullpen, but SLO does, and they've been using it really well against the Foresters.
Especially now with the season series tied 2 games apiece. Here comes a 1-1 to Mumma. Into center field, moving in is Royal. He got a fantastic jump on that baseball in a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Riley Marcotte. Through 5. Stars on top 1-0 over the Blues.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
On to the 6th inning from Santa Barbara High School, and the Stars maintain a 1-run advantage, which they picked up in the first inning. Zach James continues to stay in this ballgame. He's just tossed 63 pitches through 5 innings, Nate.
Yeah, been really efficient, trusting his defense to get the outs. Gave up his first hour last inning, but was able to bounce back and get a couple outs. Good resilience from the tall righty.
First pitch missing upstairs to Diego Murillo. It's going to be 2, 3, and 4 scheduled in this inning for the Blues. Second pitch is located on the inside edge, 1-1. It's Murillo, Raymond, Tollerman, and if anyone reaches, Sam Ardois would then bat. Comes a 1-1 pitch to the second baseman, and that's on the outside corner at 90. 1-2.
Good job framing that one by Becker. That was definitely the outside corner.
Wind's blowing now out towards right field here at Santa Barbara High School. Forster's playing for the second straight year. Here comes a 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Murillo is retired, 1 down in the 6th, and the 4th strikeout of the day for James.
By Lee and Sons, plumbing and heating.
That was a great pitch. You know, we see Murillo has been one of those guys that's been taking some big swings at James pitches, and Zach's finally able to get him on the swing and miss, strike 3.
That's going to now bring up Andrew Raymond. First pitch is down, ball 1, Raymond. Now the first hit of the ball game coming with 2 down in the first, single up the middle, and then a fly out into right. Here's a 1-0. Good slider, 1-1. One delivery from James. Knotted up Raymond. 1-2.
Knotted up indeed. He got off his foot feeding there. Had to leave the batter's box to gather himself.
And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Is just tapped foul. That's now remains 1-2. There's a ball in the count for Raymond. To follow the left fielder will be Zach Tollerman. And here comes a 1-2 pitch. And that's just down. James thought he had another punch out, but it's 2-2. The 1 down and the base is clear. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Raymond. Strikes him out. Back-to-back Ks for James. 2 down in the 6th.
That one felt like it was coming again. James, 3rd time through the order, and he's starting to
First baseman, number 22.
some good strikeouts.
Tollerman.
Feels like he's getting better as his innings going on, his outings going on.
Remember, he's only been a reliever so far. He's pitched 4 1/3 so far this season. First pitch to Tollerman is on the corner, strike 1. And so far, just 2 hits he has given up, and 2 other base runners reaching on errors. So here comes an 0-1. And that's well away. Ball and a strike.
And James, he never pitched this long at TCU. Effective outing so far.
Tough play on the backhand. Here is Klepsch. It will get through, and a 2-out base runner for the SLO Blues. That ball was in the hole. But Tollerman is aboard for the 2nd time today. He reached on E5. And it's going to go down as a base hit in the left. And a 2-out knock for Tollerman.
Just felt like a bit of miscommunication between Klepsch and Muma. Both of them went for it. Muma kind of let it go through for Klepsch to make the play, and Klepsch might have thought Easton was going to scoop that one up. So miscommunication costly here for the Stars.
Puts the tying run on base. First pitch missing for Ardois, who's 0 for 2. Line out to center. And a strikeout. Thanks for joining us, wherever you may be, on your Sunday afternoon into the evening. This pitch is into the hole in the exact same play. Klepsch is able to knock it down, and they got the force out at second. Oh, my goodness. Klepsch makes the play and slings it over to Rulli to get the force out.
That was ridiculous, Hunter. What a play. Just hard hit ball sliding out from Klepsch and gets it in time. Defense paying dividends for the Stars heading into the bottom of the 6th.
What a play. Klepsch to Rulli to get Tollerman at second for the 3rd out. Stir defense going to work through 5.5. Stars by 1.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Santa Barbara have a 1-run lead over the Blues. Brenton Clark will take first pitch ball. It's going to be Clark, Becker, and Sawyer Farr scheduled in this inning, with Riley Marcotte facing the minimum in the last when he took over.
A really effective frame from Marcotte last time out, facing some more lefties here.
There's a bouncer to Murillo, and covering first base was Tollerman as both converged initially, but Clark will ground out 4-3, 1 down in the 6th.
I mean, we were talking about defense last inning after that great play by Addison Klepsch for the Stars, but the defense for Slozen really good as well. They've retired 8 straight Stars, all because of the infield.
So 1 away and the base is clear. First pitch to Zane Becker, swinging away, strike 1. And the last base runner was Brenton Clark, who was just retired.
Yeah.
Comes the 0-1 pitch to Zane. That is in there, located at 90 from Marcotte, 0-2.
Becker, after serving as a backup catcher at Arkansas, just announced his commitment in the transfer portal to go to Texas A&M, the SEC rival, joining Sawyer Farr and Terrence Kill and College Station. And, you know, partially because a previous catcher, Jacob Galloway, the Conejo Oak, is also entered the transfer portal. It's just the new age of college athletics, Hunter.
Crazy number of players, D1 level, going into the portal. New era of collegiate athletics indeed. Here's a 0-2 inside, all 1.
Becker really proved himself as the backup catcher at Arkansas. As we mentioned, an OPS of 877, perfect fielding percentage behind the dish, but just hard to break through in a team like that. That just made it as a semifinalist in Omaha.
1-2 delivery is just going to miss low. Marcotte, a little confused, but it's 2-2.
I think Becker might have thought that one was in the zone as well. He looks like he was starting to head back to first.
Zane has gone 0 for 2 today. Did reach on an error and is struck out. 2-2 delivery, well wide. Full count.
He's come back in the count here. Job by Becker. Being patient.
Leadoff man was retired. Sawyer Farr will bat next. But now here comes payoff pitch to Zane Becker. That's down in the dirt. Ball 4. And Zane works his 4th walk of the season, and he's aboard for the 2nd time today.
Now batting for the Foresters.
Good job by Becker, you know.
Number 5.
Marcotte made easy work of all the lefties through the first 4 batters he faced, but then gives up the walk to the righty. And now Sawyer Farr coming to the plate. Another, this time switch hitter, hitting from the right-hand side.
Man on and 1 down. First time Sawyer's hitting from the right side and drills this one into center field for a base hit. First hit of the day for Sawyer. 1st and 2nd, 1 down.
Good job by Farr. Into the gap. Easy hit.
Now batting.
Exactly what he was looking for. And
Number 14.
maybe a thought
Hoover.
after the mound visit, maybe. We've seen this before where there's kind of a game of chess between the 2 managers about when you can bring in a new arm, and looks like they're going to keep Hoover on the lefty-lefty matchup.
Mm-hmm. You see a catch now going down into the SLO bullpen. 1st and 2nd, remember, just joined us late. The Sturs had 2 in scoring position. In the 2nd, left them there at the bases loaded. Just a single out and stranded everyone in the 3rd. Their lone run came in the 1st inning, and can they capitalize here? 1st and 2nd, 1 down for Caleb Hoover. Strike 1. Good delivery from Riley Marcotte.
And he's surely going to be feeling pretty confident here against the fellow lefty Hoover.
Zane Becker's at 2nd, Farr's at 1st. Can Santa Barbara add on to their 1-run advantage? Check over to 2nd and close. Throws in a little bit on the first base side of the bag. To follow Hoover, barring any double play, Easton Ruley. The final lefty, 1 through 9. He bats from the 7th spot. Comes the strike 1 pitch, and it's going to miss inside. 1-1.
Job laying off that one from Hoover. The off speed's inside. Their 10th thing is the lefty, but Caleb didn't give in.
Caleb has a ground out back to the hill and a fly out to center today. Look to 2nd, and here comes the 1-1 pitch from Marcotte. And on the outside corner, strike 2.
Fastball in the zone has to be swung at there. A good pitch to get.
Last one at 88 from Riley Marcotte. Now 1 ball and 2 strike count for Caleb Hoover. Can Santa Barbara bring home some runs? That is fair down the left field line. The backhand by the 3rd baseman. Great play. He will retire Hoover. What an effort from Constantine. Tough play behind 3rd base on the backhand, but the runners do advance. 2 down in the 6th.
Yeah, that's the crucial thing, is that the runners advance. Brings up Easton Rowley with 2 in scoring possession yet again. This is a big moment. Marcotte, only 2 righties he's faced so far, he's let on. Ruley and then Klepsch afterwards. He's got to face 2 more, assuming Ruley can do something here.
Santa Barbara have been leading since the 1st inning. Can they add to it? Strike 1 on Easton. Today Ruley's gone 0 for 2. And don't forget, one of the best men so far this season bringing home runs. He has 14. At 3rd is now Becker, Farr to 2nd. Strike 1 pitch to Easton Ruley. Foul back. Strike 2.
Falling behind here, Ruley's got to tighten up. I don't know if the Sturs, how good this Blues lineup can be at times. I don't know if you can afford another inning where you leave 2 in scoring position.
They did so in the 2nd, let the bases filled in the 3rd. Marcotte Winds up the 0-2 pitch to Easton Ruley. On the ground, left side, here is Ardois. The throw to first will be in time. And the Sturs will leave two stranded in scoring position. And some solid defense from the SLO Blues as we head to the 7th. Santa Barbara by 1.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Into the 7th inning, and the Santa Barbara Foresters have gone to their bullpen for the first time today. A quality start by Zach James, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 5 Ks, and now enter for the Sturs, Tyler Fino.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention it for James, but he still is not allowed to walk all season long in 4 appearances, 10 innings. He's been really impressive this year, and another great appearance for the TCU Horned Frog. Now his college teammate, Tyler Fino, coming out of the pen, and he's been really impressive as well for the Sturs.
He will face 6, 7, and 8. A 1-0 ball game and strike 1 on Kosei Suzuki. Suzuki today is a ground out to second, a pop up to short. And here comes the 0-1 pitch to the leadoff man. Up the middle and knocked down by Fino. Nice play by the relief pitcher, 1 down in the 7th.
Good defensive effort for Fino to get Suzuki out. Cheers. Good defensive plays here today as well.
Yeah, I think overall, granted, we did see 2 errors from both sides
Very
just
early
through 2 innings.
Though.
Yeah,
Very early in the game, but since then, it's been shut down.
fantastic defense all the way through, especially on the infield from both sides. Easton Mumon, Addison Klepsch made the nice play, but then on the flip side, Constantine Ardois, some nice plays on the left side for the SLO Blues. But here's the DH. That is ball 1 away to Charlie Caruso, who struck out twice today.
Yeah, struck out looking the first time around, swinging in the 5th.
So 1 away and the base is clear. Comes the 1-0 pitch. On the ground to Caleb Hoover, but it's booted, and can he recover? It was a good effort, and that ball will skip in and past Tyler Fino. Maybe there might have been a play if that ball was fielded on target. I don't know. It might have been close.
It would have been pretty tight, I think, and that's a really tough ball to recover. It's a tough ball to recover for your Hoover, and it's a tough throw to make, and it's a tough one to pick up for Tyler Fino. And it just got away from him, and a runner on now.
Will go down as an error. Caruso is aboard for the first time. That's going to bring up Nico Button. And there's going to be a pinch runner now at first base for the DH.
Number 41.
I believe it is Jake Hicksonbaugh. And it is Hicksonbaugh now running for Caruso at first, representing the tying run as we are in the top of the 7th. First pitch will miss inside, ball 1. And Hicksonbaugh in the DH spot now for Caruso. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Nico Button. There goes the runner, and it's a shot and into center field. First to third is going to go Hicksonbaugh. Great throw from the center fielder, but it's now going to be first and third, and the Blues have something brewing in the 7th.
Oh, they have something brewing here, Hunter. That was a great play. Trainer showing why he's one of the premier managers in the CCL. Brings in the pinch runner, and just like that, runners in the corners, nobody out.
We'll now have a pinch hitter in the 9th spot.
Yeah.
Brendan Comerford will now hit for Gavin Constantine.
Now batting for the Blues, number 2, Brendan Comerford.
Hicksonbaugh at third. Base hit by Nico Button. He is now 2 for 3 today. He is at first, and Comerford to hit after Constantine went 0 for 2. First pitch away, great work by Becker. Ball 1.
Great work by Becker. Saved a run.
Can Santa Barbara find a ground ball, get out of this inning? Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and that is located by Fino. 1-1. Nico Button at first, Hicksonbaugh's at third. 1-1 the count for Cumberford, the pinch hitter. 1-run ball game in the 7th. Runner goes from first to second. Strike 2 on Cumberford. Played down at second. They got him, but a run's going to come in, and we are tied at 1. Button caught stealing, but Hicksonbaugh will score from third base to tie us.
I think you take that result if you're slow. Tie game. Or it feels like it's been a mission to get anything here. The error proving costly as Hicksonbaugh comes around to score.
First run of the ball game for the Blues, now tied at 1. The base is clear. Here comes a 1-2 pitch, strikes out Cumberford, and the side is retired, but the Blues have tied it on to the bottom of the 7th. Tied game from Santa Barbara.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Brand new ball game tied at 1. Addison Klepsch will lead off for Santa Barbara. First pitch from Riley Marcotte misses down and away. It's going to be Klepsch, Mandino, Chamberlain scheduled. That's a righty, lefty, lefty with Marcotte, the lefty reliever, remaining in this game.
And it is a brand new game, as you said, the first time we've been tied since the first.
1-0 pitch misses inside. Ball 2.
Cott's been really effective here. Got out of a jam last time around with runners in scoring position. Effective in his first inning of work as well, going 3 up, 3 down.
That is strike 1 off the end of the bat for Addison Klepsch, who did not start this game at short, but made a fantastic play to finish off the 6th inning. Made a diving play in the hole and flipped to second. I should say more than a flip. Nice throw to second to get a force out. Comes a 2-1. That's on the inside edge, 2-2.
Big for Klepsch to get on here with back-to-back lefties following him.
And here comes the 2-2 pitch. That is away. Full count.
Give guys who already have a disadvantage coming up to the plate a chance to do something. Klepsch has a lot of speed as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him take off if he reaches.
Here comes a big 3-2 pitch from Marcotte to Addison Klepsch. Floater over the head of the shortstop Ardois, and it's a base hit for Addison Klepsch. Big time stuff for the man who did not start this game coming in. Big defensive plays and a base hit to start off the 7th inning.
That's something we've seen from the Stars recently is, you know, guys coming off the bench making plays. You got to be ready, especially with how deep this lineup is, how many guys are in that dugout that can swing the bat to come in at any moment and make plays, and Klepsch doing it. Big leadoff single with the top of the order coming around.
And you said it, Nate, with the next 4 batters all batting from the left side against this lefty pitcher. Mandino squares to bunt, takes ball 1.
And it's you feel a little different as the batter with a guy on base. I think you like your chances a little more. You've seen pitcher kind of be a little all over the place, a couple of walks, getting behind in counts. You got to know that if you're Maddox Mandino.
Check over to Klepsch. And remember, Mandino playing his final game of the regular season, and he has been ready to rock and roll in this batter's box. He told us he'd like to come back and play with the Stars in the NBC in Wichita. The Call of Duty calls.
Oh,
Tries to bunt here, got high and tight. 1-1.
Bunt went airborne.
Maddox doing what he does. He already has 2 walks today. 3 walks in this series against the Blues, and count is now 1-1. Klepsch, a great runner at first. There goes the runner, but the bunt is sprayed back on top of the first base dugout. That is strike 2.
I think Maddox was trying to pull that one back when he saw Klepsch come around, but the pitch came in before he could do so. That's really unfortunate.
Chamberlain is next for Santa Barbara. Man on, nobody out, and the Stars just conceded a run top half of this inning. It's been a 1-0 game since the first inning, when Chamberlain, who stands on deck, plated at the time the only run in the ball game. And here comes a 1-2 delivery to Mandino. Have to wait. Remember the implications of this game, not just the season series against the Blues, your longtime rival. The Foresters still just a half game ahead of Conejo, who's playing Orange County later today. Now the 1-2 pitch up the middle. Tough play from Murillo, but it's through for a base hit. Back-to-back hits for the Stars in the 7th.
Big swing of the bat by Mandino.
Number 8.
His heart on the line in the final game is a regular season game as a Star, and just like that, 2 on, nobody out. big moment here. You know, this is something we've seen the Stars do. Runners, you know, one team, the other team, your opponent scores, and you're able to come back and get some runners on. Now you got to score them. That's something that they've struggled with all day. They've left 6 in scoring position, more on base. You have to be able to take advantage of these runners in games like this.
In this conversation, just with the infield, Klepsch, a solid runner whose running game has really been activated this series. We saw him still 3 bases in just a single game earlier this week against the Blues, and 2 great runners in the form of Mandino and Klepsch, and it's going to bring up Chamberlain, who has been fantastic in these situations.
Yeah, I mean, he's been really good in these situations. He's had a good amount of RBIs. He leads the team in the series for ribbies, and Klepsch's speed at second. I expect an hit into the outfield that'll at least send Addison home.
Santa Barbara look to regain their lead. First pitch to Cole Chamberlain is down for ball 1. We talk about those runs batted in. Nate, 6 this series, and he has 10 overall as his time with a Forester, as a Forester. Klepsch at second, Mandino at first. Comes a 1-0 pitch to the designated hitter. Good delivery, 1-1.
Tough delivery as well. That's tough miss for Chamberlain.
It's Chamberlain and then Mumon. Remember, the next 2 batters scheduled after Chamberlain both hit from the left side. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. And again, that's in there, strike 2. Really nice pitch from Riley Marcotte.
Big one at that. Got Chamberlain down to his final strike. Got to tighten up here for Cole.
Marcotte has been very good against the lefties here today. But the 1-2 pitch is high and away at 89. 2-2.
Nico Button letting his pitcher know. That was a good pitch. I like that. More of that, please.
Chamberlain today is 1 for 2 with a walk. Ripped a base hit in right in the opening inning. The third baseman, now Cumberford, is playing in. Comes the 2-2 pitch, popped up and out of play. 2-2. And Cumberford now in at third base after pinch hitting for Constantine. But it remains 2-2. Tied game in the 7th. Go ahead run at second for Santa Barbara. 2-2. That is down. Good cover from Button. Full count.
Good cover indeed. Don't want to load up the bases with nobody out.
The next batter is Easton Mumon. Nobody out, first and second. And Chamberlain fell behind. And I'll see a 3-2 pitch. He will stay alive.
Had to go with the breaking ball on the 3-2 count. Chamberlain just put bat to ball. Feel the tension here at Eddie Matthews Field.
Wins out to center field. Another massive 3-2 pitch to Chamberlain. It's popped up, maybe a chance in foul ground for Cumberford. The third baseman moves over and runs out of real estate. Remains 3-2.
Very lucky there for Chamberlain.
This next pitch will be the 9th of the plate appearance. What a battle between Marcotte and Chamberlain. The Stars just conceded a run. We are tied at 1. Back-to-back base hits to start the inning. And another 3-2 pitch to Chamberlain. Over to the shortstop. Here is Ardois, Murillo, and to first to turn 2. Klepsch does go down to third base, but now 2 down in the 7th.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 23, Easton Buma.
That bites. But here's the crucial thing, Hunter. You got Klepsch 90 feet away from scoring. And the hero from last night, Easton Buma, to the plate.
The 6-4, 3-double play turned by the infield as the first pitch to Mumon will miss away for ball 1. And in the 10th inning last night, Easton rocketed a baseball down the left field line to score 2. Give his team a 5-3 lead in the 10th. Santa Barbara ended up winning 5-4 in that inning. That is located 1-1. Easton today is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. And Riley Marcotte facing a third straight left-handed batter. 1-1 pitch. That is a good take, missing inside ball 2.
Have to hold up on those swings. You got to wait for something that you can hit. Sack fly won't do it.
If Mumon can reach, Brenton Clark is next. He's ahead in the count. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Marcotte. That is away and a great pick by Button. Ball 3.
Chamberlain was ready. Klepsch, excuse me, over at third was ready to take off there.
Easton Mumon, this year's 5 runs batted in. And with 2 down, a chance for the third baseman to put his team on top again. Marcotte shakes off a couple from Button. Go-ahead run is at third in the form of Addison Klepsch. 3-1 pitch is fouled back. Full count.
I think what Button's thinking here, he goes with something high on the 3-1. That gets fouled off. I would not be surprised to see a slider low and away.
Remember,
You
Clark
have a couple bases open. Get away with a walk. Can't allow Mumon to get the hit.
Now the payoff pitch to Mumon. Left side to the third baseman, Cumberford. The throw on target, and the Sturs will come up empty in the 7th. They had back-to-back singles, the double play, and then the ground out. Santa Barbara will head to the 8th, tied at 1 with the Blues.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Back in Santa Barbara, Tyler Fino remains on the bump after taking over in the last inning after Zach James, a quality start, went 6. It's going to be the top of the order coming up for the SLO Blues, but the Blues, Nate, again, get out of the jam. The Sturs have had so many opportunities throughout this game, yet we're just tied 1-1.
Yeah, it's really tough to be in for the Stars, you know. It's so many opportunities to be able to just get out there and just build a good lead. And now you're tied, and you tie, the runs unearned for James because the runner reached on an error. It's been really tough to see, but that's just baseball sometimes, Hunter. Of course, a couple innings left in regulation. Last night went to extras. I don't know. I'm sure the team wouldn't mind heading to extras again if it means a win.
When you look back to that game last night, 12 hits for Santa Barbara, but just 4 for the SLO Blues. Sturs had 3 errors, and there were 2 errors for the Blues in that contest last night, but it's kind of a familiar thing last night. The Sturs had all those hits, plus 8 in the hit column, and had to go into extra innings. But here is E.J. Royal, the leadoff man, and the man who stands at the top of the order, Royal, Murillo, and Raymond, against Tyler Fino for the first time. Royal today's gone 0 for 3. Line out to short, a ground up to short, and a foul out to first. It'll take ball 2, 2-0.
Getting ahead here. It's massive for Royal.
And you do see Jaden Barfield, the lone left-handed reliever, available today, warming up. 2-0 pitch, strike 1. Two teams playing for the 5th time this week. There's the 2-1 pitch to E.J. Royal, and that is down and away. Ball 3 to the leadoff man.
Gotta find a strike here.
3-1 delivery from Fino. Will miss away for ball 4, and the leadoff man is aboard for the SLO Blues. And that's the first time today.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's not something you've seen a lot. The Sturs. Objective is simple, Hunter. Just get the 3 outs and get the bats back up. You got to feel that something's eventually going to break for Santa Barbara offensively.
First walk given up by Santa Barbara pitching today. First time the leadoff man is aboard as Murillo squares around to bunt. That's foul, strike 1. So Dean Traynor calling on for the bunt.
Muma was ready to cover that. He was basically at home plate by the time that pitch came in.
Hoover holds on to the man at first. And here comes the 0-1 pitch to Murillo. Runner goes. It's through the hole. Right side. It's a base hit. Royals going first to third. It's a great throw from Brenton Clark. Runner down to second. The play at second. Safe. And 2 now in scoring position for the Blues.
I love the arm strength from Brenton Clark, but that throw's got to go to a cutoff man. That throw's got to, go to someone who can get it back to second in time and allow for there to be a better play at second base. And just like that, 2 in scoring position, nobody out. This is far from ideal for Santa Barbara.
And here comes Bill Pintard, and it looks like he's going to Jaden Barfield. Barfield's coming out of the pen, and that's going to do it for Tyler Fino. We're going to step aside. 2 in scoring position for the Blues. Tied game in the 8th. Jaden Barfield coming in for the Sturs. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. So here's Jaden Barfield to take over for Tyler Fino, who went 1+, giving up 2 hits, responsible for the 2 runners aboard. He walked 1 and struck out 1, and this is the second time the Blues are going to face Barfield this season. Barfield pitched on the 25th, an inning, gave up a couple hits, did strike out 1, did pick up the victory in the 10-3 win for Santa Barbara on the 25th against the Blues.
Yeah, he third time facing the Blues. He's got a 4.91 ERA against him, but he's a really effective pitcher. An easy guy to get hits against. This is about as tough a position to come into. 2 in scoring position, nobody out. Strikeout would be big here to start things off.
Number 10.
It's going to be Andrew Raymond. Rather a pinch hitter now. Smith now hitting. So Gavin Smith to take over for the left fielder. First pitch is popped up into foul ground. Caleb Hoover goes back, but it's going to be the second baseman, Rulli, to make the grab. Runners will hold, and a massive first out for Barfield.
Massive is an understatement, Hunter. That is a big first out. That is a ginormous first out, I would say. Big time
Number 22.
for the Stars.
Zach Tollerman.
And that's going to now bring up Zach Tollerman. Second and third, 1 down. Infield in for Santa Barbara. Looking to cut down any run at the plate. Tied game in the 8th. First pitch, and they're on a slider, 0-1. Barfield works with a deep pitch mix. Seems to sprinkle in 5, 6, maybe even 7 pitches. Now the 0-1 is sprayed back, strike 2.
And that just tells you, how much he trusts a lot of his different pitches. Summer always talk about how it's time for these guys to develop, and Barfield's been effective with so many of them.
First 2 men reached base for the Blues in this inning. Barfield entering in this tied game. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Tollerman. Popped up, short right, Brenton Clark gets a long run, and he can't make the play. A run's going to come in. It's E.J. Royal, and it's now a 2-1 Blues lead. A flare single for Tollerman to bring home the go-ahead run for the Blues.
Shortstop.
Man, that's just so unfortunate. I don't think Clark ever got the read on that high fly ball in the shallow right. It's a tough play to make with the sun shining, and Clark just couldn't find ball.
And the Blues lead for the first time tonight, I should say this afternoon, as Murillo's down to third. Tollerman's flare single into shallow right. The batter is now Sam Ardois. Strike 1.
And Barfield again has done a good job getting the...
And the ball from the throw down from the catcher. Now a play at the plate. Safe. Down to second. Tollerman. It is now 3-1. The throw from the catcher was a bad throw back to the hill. Opened up the channel So Murillo will likely score on an E2. And then with Murillo coming home, Tollerman advances down to second. So it is now 3-1. Man at second, just a single out. And that is down for ball one.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before where it's a bad throw. That is really just so tough for the Stars. Oh, my goodness.
Actually, a similar thing happened in the game yesterday, almost identical. Here comes a 1-1, is sprayed back for strike two. And pretty much in the exact situation, the SLO Blues were able to score on a play just like that yesterday at Sinsheimer Park. But 2 runs in the 8th. 1-2 the count for Sam Ardois. He will strike out, 2 down in the 8th. First strikeout of the day for Barfield.
And way to not let
Sponsored by
that affect you if you're Jaden Barfield. Still come back, attack the batter, and get the second out. It's massive for Jaden Barfield.
now batting.
So Tall remains at second, but now 2 down. And here's Kosei Suzuki with the Blues now leading by 2 runs. Swing and a miss. Just foul tips it back in the glove of Becker. That is strike 1. Barfield looks to limit the damage to 2. Here comes an 0-1 pitch. Fly ball into center field. Drifting back is Mandino. Long run, and that ball is over his head. Mandino hits the deck. That ball is at the wall. Going to third base is Suzuki. And an RBI triple, and the Blues now lead 4-1 over the Foresters.
That was a really well struck ball by Suzuki. Just kept on traveling back, and Mandino had to cover a lot of ground and couldn't get it.
Now batting for the Blues.
Just like that, another run across the plate. The Blues, excuse me, opening this game up.
So here's Hicksonball for the second time today. And that is strike 1, rather first time after he came into pinch run for Caruso in the last inning. A man at third, 3 runs in, 4-1, the Blues advantage. Comes the 1-0 pitch, and that's going to miss upstairs for ball 2. And Kosei Suzuki, he's had a fantastic series against the Foresters. He was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs entering today. Picks up his first hit and an RBI, and that's going to miss for ball 3 from Barfield to Hicksonball.
Hicksonball, the portal after a couple years at Monterey Peninsula College.
Comes a 3-0 pitch to Hicksonball, and ball 4 and a 4-pitch 2-out walk for Hicksonball in his first plate appearance to continue the inning for the Blues.
Bentard out of a dugout. He's just going to have a word here with Barfield, I reckon. Just try and settle him in, tell him you got to get this final out.
And it looks like Sam Stevens now tossing for Santa Barbara in their bullpen. And so this inning started with a walk and a hit. That's when Tyler Fino started off this inning. Barfield entered. Since then, 2 hits and a walk. But then again, you can't forget the errant throw down to the hill, which opened up that channel to score the second of the 3 runs. And just like that, a game that was neck and neck. It was tied 1-1 entering this inning. Stars now trail by 3.
And I would argue that, the Stars had momentum for so much of this game. There were so many innings where they were just getting guys on, and they couldn't bring them around. And you just felt like, oh, it was going to come for Santa Barbara. It was going to come. But it felt like, maybe they got complacent, and the Blues took advantage of that last inning to tie the game, and now to take the lead and open things up. 3-run lead. Runners on the corners. Got to get an out here if you're Barfield.
Batter is now Nico Button, the catcher. Runners on the corners, 2 down. There goes the runner from first. Becker's not going to throw, double pumped, and thought about going down to third. But down to second goes Hicksonball after his walk.
Smart decision by Becker not to throw it there.
And it was strike one on Button. And quickly, Button falls behind 0-2. Good work from Barfield to get ahead in the count.
And this is a good matchup for Barfield as well. Seeing the lefty.
Jaden Barfield winds up the 0-2 pitch, and that's in there, called strike 3.
And I believe
And there was a miscommunication on if that first pitch was a strike or a ball, and half the people thought it was strike 2, half the people thought it was strike 3, as did the players.
Yeah, I thought everyone thought that was, but the home plate up, and it's 1-2.
So it's now 1-2 the count. Here comes the pitch to Button, and that's going to miss upstairs 2-2.
That's just tough to come back from. There's been so many moments where, weird things have happened for Barfield, and he's had to lock back in, and it's tough to do so, man, after, the error, and you think you get the final strike of the inning, and now you're tied on the count here, 2-2.
Button's gone 2 for 3 today. Here comes the 2-2, full count. Button has reached on error. Automatic double, which bounded over the right field fence. And a base hit into center field. One swing in the back could really do some damage for Santa Barbara, now trailing by 3 and 2 in scoring position for Nico Button. The count is full as a payoff pitch is in there, called strike 3, and Barfield picks up his second K, but the damage has been done by the Blues. Bottom of the 8th. Stars now trail by 3. Clark, Becker, and Farr coming up for Santa Barbara.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Stars have 4, 5, 6 scheduled as Riley Marcotte remains in this ball game. He's going to face a lefty, a right-handed hitter, and then a switch hitter. Schedule with the Stars work to do, down by 3. First pitch popped up, out of play, strike 1 on Clark.
Last time he faced as part of the order was the first time we've really seen him. Batters have a success against him. Becker have that walk, and then Farr. First pitch swinging, got a hit to advance. Runners in scoring position as well after, and can take advantage of it.
Clark will quickly fall behind 0-2. Clark led off the 6th inning. Grounded out 4-3. He's 0 for 2 with a walk today. 0-2 pitch on the ground, left side. It's through for a base hit. Clark picks up his first knock of the day and a leadoff single for Santa Barbara.
Big leadoff single as well.
And you look at it at this point, I mean, you just got to try to get at least one run. Give yourself a better chance in the 9th as well, as many as you can here.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest goal for this inning is to not leave it with a 0 on the scoreboard. You have to get at least one. Have momentum back on your side as you head into the 9th.
Batter is now Zane Becker. Strike 1 on Zane, who today is reached on error, struck out, and worked a walk. 3 spot for the Blues in the top half of this inning. Santa Barbara have had their chances throughout this game. Can they break through? Comes the 0-1. That is well away. Ball and a strike. Game last night went into 10 innings. Santa Barbara won 5-4. Bottom of the 8th, the 1-1 to Becker, sprayed over the fence and down the road to our right. Strike 2. Clark this year has gone 3 for 5 in stolen bases in attempts. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. That is away, 2-2.
Yeah, but I don't think now is the time to be aggressive on the base path. I think you got to play it as safe as you can and just trust that your bats will come through and advance runners.
It's now 2-2 for Becker. Here comes the pitch from Marcotte. Check swing, foul. And Zane stays alive. And Marcotte's been in this game since the 5th inning after Bryce Johnson went 4. Just 1 hit, 1 run, which was not earned. And Marcotte has been doing a very good job for the Blues in this ball game. Comes another 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Full count.
Good job by Zane holding up. Get on base, pass the bats. Easy as that, Hunter.
You bring the tying run to the plate. Sawyer Farr stands on deck. Clark inches off of first base in a 3-run ball game. Here comes the 3-2 pitch from Marcotte to Zane Becker. That is away. Ball 4 in the second walk of the day for the catcher. First and second. Nobody out in the 8th.
Out batting, the left fielder, number 5.
Dean Trainer coming out of the dugout. I don't know, man. I'm just getting deja vu here, Hunter.
There's been a man in the pen warming up. And since Marcotte's been in this game since the 5th, you have a switch hitter coming up, a lefty, and then 2 righties. There will be a pitching change. Marcotte took over in the 5th, and he's going to go 3+. Brenton Clark, a leadoff single at second. Zane Becker just worked to walk. He is at first. Nobody out, and the Sturs are bringing the tying run to the plate. Bottom of the 8th.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Big junction of this ball game. 4-1 the Blues on top. Bottom of the 8th inning. Santa Barbara is bringing the tying run to the plate in the form of the switch hitter Sawyer Farr. Now the right-hander Sean York now in the game for the Blues.
Yeah, 6'6", big presence on the mound. Came in against the Stars on June 24th, where he went an inning and a third. Gave up 2 runs, couple of walks. It's a big moment here. 2 on. Got to be able to take advantage if you're the Stars. You cannot have another situation where you leave multiple runners on base. It's happened so many times this game.
For Santa Barbara, it is the second time in this ball game they've gotten their first 2 men aboard. And you just kind of alluded to it with all the base runners. This happened in the 2nd, 3rd, and 7th inning. You get your first 2 men aboard and then come up empty. Remember there was a change with the pinch hitter. Gavin Smith is now in left for the SLO Blues, and Brendan Cumberford has been at third now for the 2nd straight inning after pinch hitting for Gavin Constantine in the 7th. But the batters, Sawyer Farr, tying run at the plate. 4-1 the Blues lead, bottom of the 8th. First pitch in there for Sawyer, 0-1.
Besides that, he's been a really effective arm, Sean York. 3.24 ERA. Good strikeout numbers.
Farr today has gone 1 for 2 with a walk. Here comes an 0-1 pitch. That is away past the catcher, and both runners will advance.
Got to take advantage of that. A momentary lapse of judgment from Button, who's been so good behind the dish, saving so many tough balls from going to the backstop. But that time, just a routine fastball, unable to.
Go down as a pass ball. Also gets rid of the double play as well on any ground ball. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Farr. Swing and a miss. Nasty slider. Strike 2.
He wanted all of that. Great slider from York.
Farr's going to have to shorten up. Next batter will be Caleb Hoover. Clark at third. Becker at second. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and Farr checks his swing. Ball was down, no swing, 2-2.
Good job by Sawyer holding up.
Santa Barbara have had their chances in this game. Their lone run came in the opening inning. Conceded 3 runs in the top half of this inning. Now the 2-2 pitch to Farr. Spray down the left field line, out of play. Remains 2-2.
York thinking go back to the slider that got the big whiff on the 1-1 pitch.
Farr's brought home 15 runs this season. And Sean York, the reliever, in the first man he faces. Comes the 2-2. That is away, full count. First base open, next is Hoover. So now be the 7th pitch of the plate appearance. The 3-2 delivery to Sawyer Farr. And he sprays it over the third base dugout. Remains 3-2.
Keep on fighting. Open base. Farr just wants so much more.
He's fouled off the last couple. And York will now fire the 8th pitch to Sawyer this plate appearance. 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out. 3-2 is popped up and out of play. Another one fouled off by Sawyer.
And York went to the off speed that time, and Farr just able to foul it off. He's got to be careful with that pitch in the zone, though. If that happens again, I would not be surprised to see Sawyer Farr take him deep.
Infield at double play depth. And now the 9th pitch to Farr is another 3-2. That is away. Ball 4, and Farr yells to the dugout. He's aboard for the 3rd time today. Bases loaded, nobody out.
big walk and a long at-bat at that. And I just felt like it could have gone to anybody at any point. That time, Sawyer Farr was patient and was able to get the result he was looking for. Get on, bases juiced for the lefty power bat Hoover.
Caleb has 1 home run this year. He has brought home 7 runs. Bases loaded, nobody out. Go ahead run now at the plate. First pitch on the edge, strike 1.
It's the mental game. Most other situations, I would not be surprised to see Hoover taking a big rip at that, but waiting for the right one.
York walked the first man he faced. Now time being called. Tying run on base. And these two teams yet again playing another tight game. It feels like every time these two teams play, it's come down into the final innings or extra innings at that. Comes an 0-1 pitch to Hoover. Strike 2, big rip. Back into the glove of Button, who's going to go out to his man on the hill. 0-2 on Hoover. Clark is at third. Becker at second. Farr. First 3 men have all reached base. It was a leadoff single by Brenton Clark the other way.
Notably, Terrence Kill batting helmet on in the dugout.
Easton Rulli is on deck. But here comes 0-2 pitch to Caleb Hoover. That's gonna miss away. Great take. Ball 1.
Really, really good take. It's a tough one. The off speed, you're like, is it gonna drop in? Is it not? Time just missed the zone. Good take by Caleb Hoover.
York doesn't get the chase on the slider. What does he go to here? Bases loaded, nobody out. 1-2 pitch is foul back. Means 1-2.
It's a dangerous game. That is a really dangerous game. Back-to-back off-speed pitches. That one a little bit more in the zone. If Caleb times it up and locates the bat, that is way gone.
Rulli on deck. Santa Barbara trailed by 3. Farr is at first, representing the tying run. Here comes a 1-2 pitch to Hoover. Strikes him out. 1 down in the 9th and a massive strikeout for Sean York and the Blues.
Massive. Massive. Yeah, it's bringing in the pinch hitter. Not surprised to see one of the best bats for the Stars, who's having an off day, but coming in a big, big moment. Terrence Kill.
It is worth noting, Bill Pintard did have Rulli standing on the on-deck circle, swinging away, and you noted with the batting helmet on Kill, awaiting in the shadows for his time to be called upon. But with now 1 down, York will look for a ground ball to get out of this inning. TK down the left field line. It is a base hit. From second base comes Zane Becker, coming around from first base is Farr, and we are tied. Terrence Kill, a pinch hit, bases clearing double, tied at 4.
A clutch knock and Terrence Kill. Can you name a more iconic duo, Hunter? Had the walk-off against OC and ties it up on the bases clearing double. What a play by TK.
And now Santa Barbara look to take the lead with Addison Klepsch. First pitch is located by York, strike 1. Well, for TK, just need to see 1 pitch, and you rope it down the left field line.
I mean, it was a great pitch to swing at, though. It was just breaking into the zone, and TK just couldn't pass it up, you know.
Comes a strike 1 pitch to Klepsch. And that is located. Good location. Klepsch will go down 0-2. Klepsch today has gone 1 for 2 after taking over for Coleman Ryan at short. Still just 1 out. Go ahead run now at second base for Santa Barbara. 0-2 pitch is down. Fantastic take on that slider. Ball 1.
Yeah, great take. And I looked. One point it was going to go outside of Klepsch, but then it just goes all the way to the other side of the play. That's a beautiful pitch from York.
Here comes the 1-2 delivery from York to Klepsch. That's well away, and down to third base goes Terrence Kill on the wild pitch, and with just a single out, count is now 2-2 for Addy at the plate. If you can lift something in the outfield, Santa Barbara can take the lead.
I mean, I was going to say, a hit into the outfield with Kill at second scores a run, honestly. He's got so much speed. Got to take advantage of it.
But the sacrifice fly now in play. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Reaching for it, and it's foul. Means 2-2.
He'll just for good measure went all the way home. Why not?
And if you've been keeping track, Terrence Kill tacking on 3 more runs batted into his total. Coming in off the bench, he represents the go-ahead run for Santa Barbara. It's 2-2 for Klepsch. Chopped left side and over the head of the third baseman. Santa Barbara has taken a 5-4 lead. Klepsch brings home the go-ahead run. Santa Barbara have now pushed in 4 runs in the 8th inning, a 5-4 lead.
And that's what happens. The infielder, third baseman Comerford was playing so in. Was basically on the infield grass, and the hopper just goes over his head. If he's playing at a normal depth, that's an easy ground out and probably holds the runner at least throw home would have gotten the runner there or get the runner out at first for the second out, but instead, Santa Barbara with the lead.
Mandino right up the middle, over to Ardois. They get one at second to first to end the inning. A double play, 6-3 Ardois to Tollerman, but Santa Barbara. Terrence Kill and Addison Klepsch have now taken a 5-4 lead into the 9th. Coming up will be Cumberford, Royal, Murillo, 9-1-2 scheduled for the Blues.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back at Santa Barbara High School, on to the 9th inning. Santa Barbara have now taken a 5-4 lead. 7 runs between the two teams in the 8th inning. The Blues put up 3 to take a 4-1 lead, but Santa Barbara put up 4 to take a 5-4 lead into the last, and a new arm is coming in. Steele Eves will enter in a save situation. He will face 9-1 and 2 scheduled for the Blues.
What a moment to make your home debut.
One appearance so far this year for Eves, as Becker wants to make sure he's on the same page as the new arm.
Both of these guys spent their freshman years at Arkansas. Eves remaining there, where he had a great freshman season. 0.86 ERA, all in relief. A really good job limiting walks.
First pitch inside to Brendan Comerford, ball 1. Eves' debut was on the 25th against the Blues. Came in and pitched an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, no runs, no walks. Here comes the 1-0. Big strike 1 on Comerford. And he also did strike out 2 in his debut.
Now his first time making an appearance at home against the same team.
1-1 pitch is located nicely, strike 2.
The last time he came in, it's a shutout inning for Arkansas in the regional against Creighton. He can handle pressure.
Comes a 1-2 pitch. That is down and away. 2-2.
Becker liked that pitch, though. Get him swinging on the pitch low and away. Comerford not willing to chase, though.
2-2 delivery, strikes him out. 1 down in the 9th.
That strikeout brought to you by Lee and Sons, Plumbing and Heating.
That's going to bring around the top of the order.
Big out. It's a good one to get a massive swing and miss on that. Now you got to get through
Royal.
the guys who came across last inning to take the lead.
First pitch to Royals, a slider for a strike, 0-1.
Royal walked last time around, and then Murillo had that hard single.
Eves, 0-1 pitch is going to miss down. Another slider, 1-1. And with Terrence Kill pinch hitting, he is now in center field. Maddox Mandino is in left, and Sawyer Farr is now at second base. Here comes the 1-1, high and in, ball 2. Those are the changes for the Foresters.
That's when Farr's positional versatility is so useful in
Right,
a moment
yes.
like that.
A lot of defensive changes today for the Sturs, but now the 2-1 off the end of the bat, 2-2. Diego Murillo will be next for the SLO Blues. A 1-run game after Santa Barbara have taken the lead, bottom of the 8th. Still, Eves winds up a 2-2 pitch to Royal. On the ground, left side, a 1-hopper to Mumai, knocks it down. Can he recover? Yes, he can. 2 down in the 9th.
And we go back to where it all started, Hunter. It was the defense for Santa Barbara that was making so many plays in the first half of this game, especially Easton Muma at third. And again, flashing that gold glove of his. What a play by Easton Muma. Bounced back from the fumble, picked it up and hurled it over in time.
Blues down to their final out. Strike 1 on Murillo. Murillo had that base hit in the 8th inning. The lone time he has reached today. And he does represent the tying run at the plate. But Steele leaves now ahead in the count. Here comes an 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Blues down to their final strike in the 9th inning. Base is clear. 2 away. Steele leaves. 0-2 pitch to Murillo. Strikes him out, and Santa Barbara have won it 5-4 over the Blues.
That's the ball game.
What a ball game from Santa Barbara. 4 runs in the 8th. Eves shuts it down, picks up the save. And a gutsy performance today from the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Folks, tune in tomorrow on
This team does not know the phrase give up. You know, you've had the lead for the entire game. You give up the lead in the 7th, and then they break the tie, putting up 3 runs in the 8th. Crooked number, and most teams would just settle and say, oh, it's too much to come back from. Not the Santa Barbara Foresters. Big play by Terrence Kill to tie it off the bench. Addison Klepsch, another man off the bench, gives them the lead on the single. And still leaves, what a home debut to come in, shut things down, 2 strikeouts to secure the W. Second straight game in a row where it was a 3-run comeback and a 5-4 win. Only this time, we said no to extras. We had enough daylight to do it here in Santa Barbara, but not this time.
What a day from the entire unit. Fantastic pitching yet again from the Foresters. A quality start from Zach James. And when you look down the lineup, of course, the thing that stands out, Terrence Kill in the 8th inning. Sees 1 pitch, pinch hitting, bases clearing double, and he plates the winning run. It's brought home by Addison Klepsch to amass a 5-4 lead. And Maddox Mandino playing in his final game during the regular year for the Santa Barbara Foresters. We wish him the best. Hopefully we'll see him in the NBC tournament in Wichita. Final thoughts on this one before the Stars hit the road for the next 2 days, Nate?
A massive, massive win for so many reasons, Hunter. I mean, you now have the lead against the Blues after losing 2 straight to open them. You beat them 3 times in a row. You get a big win for the standing side of things in the CCL South. You know, obviously that game later tonight, first pitch coming up between Conejo and Orange County. And now you get that lead. You manage, at the very least, to maintain it at half a game. A big, big, gutsy performance. I think that was a great word to use to describe it, gutsy. This team has no fear and does not know the word give up.
Jaden Barfield's going to pick up the win. Steele Eves will pick up the save. Once again, final score 5-4. Foresters win. For the entire team, the entire staff, for Nate Martin, I am Hunter Shoemake saying so long from Santa Barbara. The Stars are on the road tomorrow down in Orange County against the Riptide. First pitch scheduled for 6 o'clock local time. We'll see you then.